everyone doing? Just was listening to a little Tom Petty, as today would have been Mr. Tom Petty's 75th birthday. Happy birthday to the memory of Tom Petty. What are you going to do, right? Happy Randsanity. Episode 142. Close. I'm always at 150, and then we're downhill toward 200. And, again, 200 will be close to the end of the year. Hopefully be close to when I have to sign a lot of documents and sell the radio station building. Kind of close that chapter. It's been a long chapter. 30 plus years of chapter. That's all I can say. My hair is so long. I need my guy to cut my hair. I didn't even realize how long it was until I, again, had to watch it because I was in the attic again today. I had to cut holes to the side of the house to put a vent in. I put the ceiling fan in, the bathroom. It's looking good, I'm telling you. I've gotten quite good at bathroom remodeling. Just saying, man. You got to find your skills where you can these days, right? Are my glasses that dirty? Holy. Oh, my God. I'm like, wow. No wonder I can't see. My glasses are filthy. Filthy. How's everyone doing? Good? I hope you had a good Monday. It was a beautiful day. It was fall-y. It wasn't too hot, wasn't too cold. It was sunny after a rainy Sunday. It was beautiful. I enjoyed my Monday. Even though I spent most of it inside working, I did have to climb a ladder almost 20 feet in the air. I know. People are like, you're too old for that. I'm like, if you fall, you're too old for anything. It doesn't matter how old you are if you fall. So I just held on tight. That's all you can do. Hold on tight, man. Don't fall off the ladder. That's it. I did remember I turned the heater off so we will not be interrupted by the motor going off for the steam heat. I know. I put the Post-it note upstairs and now I have to remember to turn it back on so it doesn't, become freezing. It's always something, right? All right. We can dive into the music history on this fine day of the 20th of October, 10/20/25 it is today. But we'll go back in time. We'll take the time machine and go backwards and forwards and backwards, no particular order, because remember, I don't have that skill set because I don't really want to take that much time to write it, have to chronologically, figure it out. So we'll start at 1955 when Henry Belafonte records Deo, the Banana Boat song in New York City. It became number 5 in 1957. Daylight come and I want to go home. Hey, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and I want to go home. Calypso. It's a Calypso song. I listened to it a couple of times. I was like, wait, what are the actual lyrics? So it basically is about a worker, take a sip of rum, work all night, picking bananas, lift 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot up, banana stalks. So basically it's about working and wanting to go home after a long day of working the bananas. Hey, Mr. Tallyman, tell me a banana. So how much did I move? How much did I lift? How much work did I do? Then you pay me for the amount of bunches that I did. That's what it's about. I read the history of it. I was like, I want to know. So it's a traditional Calypso song. So Deo. And the list of people that have covered it and used it, and I mean, all the way to Queen at Live Aid, we went Deo on stage in front of, the world, 1 billion people or whatever it was. But yes, Deo, the Banana Boat song. Tally me banana. Tally me banana. 1962, Peter, Paul, and Mary debuts their folk album, Peter, Paul, and Mary. It reached number 1 in the U.S. charts. Now remember, they were the ones who sang the song, Puff the Magic Dragon. Puff the Magic Dragon lived by the sea. I was like, okay, what the beep? I mean, Is that about weed or what? I mean, come on, Puff the Magic Dragon? It's gotta be, right? I'm just saying, you know, I saw something, I just happened to scan something very quickly, and it said that the Supreme Court is looking to see if people that smoke pot should own guns. Let's see how this turns out for everybody. I'm just going to let that one go. But yes, Puff the Magic Dragon. And there's a lot of weed references and things tonight because there always is, right? They're rock stars. It's musicians. There's weed involved. Okay, 1964. Now, this I had to go dive into because I was like, wait, what? So the one thing I found was 1964, the Rolling Stones played their first concert in Paris. I was like, oh, okay, cool, great, no big deal. I was going to skip it. Then I found one that said Rolling Stones play in Paris, 150 arrested at a riot. And I was like, wait, what? So then I was like, okay, can of worms. I'm just going to go into the whole thing and just find everything I can about it. So apparently in 1964, the Rolling Stones played their first gig at Olympia Stadium in Paris, France. Now, I was like, why did this happen? So yes, it was a riot. The band was whisked off stage. Chairs were broken. People rushed the stage. 150 kids were arrested. The gendarmes and the Parisian police couldn't handle the crowd. It completely was out of control. But the reason now was what I was like, well, why would you? So if you think about it, in 1964, the access to concerts wasn't the same as it is now. Now there's concerts all the time. There rarely were big concerts like this. So this was like this super frenzy, this feeding frenzy of young Parisians that had never seen the Rolling Stones. The Rolling Stones were one of the most popular bands in the world at the time. It was sort of like Beatlemania was going to be in the United States. And they were feverish for the Rolling Stones, who were also very rebellious and sort of, anti-establishment in the 1960s. And they said that drinking may be involved. And I was like, well, sure, it's Paris. What's the drinking age in Paris? 16? So, they're all wound up, winded up, and it just got out of control. They said it started the minute the band hit the stage. It just went sideways. People rushed the stage. Small skirmishes broke out. The crowd became over exuberant, and just literally the band had to be whisked off the stage because of a riot. And it was referenced in a whole bunch of things. They changed security policies after that, and all these things changed after that show because it was such a shit show. But yeah, so my one reference just said, oh, Rolling Stones played Paris the first time. And it turns out it's like, Altamont or something. It's this insane show. So there you go. Paris, 1964. The Rolling Stones played the first time. 1965, the Beatles receive a gold record for their hit song Yesterday. So a gold record by the RIAA means that 500,000 copies have been sold. Platinum means that 1 million copies have been sold. I have a bunch of gold records and a bunch of platinum records. I even have some that are multi-platinum because they've sold multi-million records. So that's how that number works. But the Beatles got it on this day, the 20th of October, 1965, for Yesterday. 1973, Queen Elizabeth II dedicates the Australian Sydney Opera House in Bennelong. What is that then? Anyway, Sydney, Australia. It took 14 years to build it. 14 years, that's a long time to build that. I mean, yeah, you think about it, things take time to build, but that's a long time to build an amphitheater, an opera house. 14 years. 1977, October 20th. Do you know what happened on that day? 1977, October 20th? A plane chartered by the rock band Leonard Skinner. Yes, indeed. It runs out of fuel on its way from North Carolina to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, close to Baton Rouge. The pilots apparently figured out that there was a problem with the fuel, and the band figured out there was a problem with the fuel. Toward the end, they tried to make a landing and didn't quite make it. So they skimmed the treetops and crashed in a field. It was a wooded area near Gillsburg, Mississippi, that the plane went down. It killed Ronnie Van Zant, who was the frontman, founder, and lead singer and guitarist for Lynyrd Skynyrd. It also killed Steve Gaines, who was a guitarist and vocalist with Lynyrd Skynyrd. His sister, Casey Gaines, was a backup singer. Their manager, Dean Kilpatrick, and both the pilot, Walter McKeary, and First Officer William John Gray were all killed in that crash, and 20 other people were injured. All the band members are injured. The NTSB later on said that, in fact, it was the fuel ran out, and it was human error because the type of plane that these guys were flying on, the pilots didn't check. It was notorious for having a fuel gauge that was inaccurate, and the pilots were supposed to go, ding, 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 knock on the tanks and see, oh, it sounds like it's empty. They didn't top it off and ran out of fuel and crashed. So they changed the fuel rules after that, too. I guess it was also said that Aerosmith was going to use this plane and these pilots. At some point, they saw the pilot and first officer drinking a bottle of Jack Daniels with someone. Also, they did not like that the plane was 30 years old, so they chose not to use it. This was also going to be Lynyrd Skynyrd's last flight on this particular plane because, as one of the world's #1 rock bands and biggest stars, they said that they're going to buy themselves a Lear jet and fly in class after this last time using this airplane. They didn't tour for 10 years after that. It took them quite some time to get back on the horse and ride. So, Lynyrd Skynyrd plane crash on this day. Freebird. 1978, the British ska rock band. British ska rock band. The Police played their very first gig in the U.S. 1978, October 20th at CBGB's. The band was so poor that they flew on a discounted airline and brought their own equipment with them as their carry-on bags. Their luggage was, in fact, their guitars and other musical instruments. Wow. Ska. That was what they were originally thought to be. A ska rock band. I was like, really? The Police were a ska rock band? I guess. I don't see it. I do see Calypso, Telling Me Banana, but I don't see ska rock band. That's just me. 1979, Bob Dylan makes his first and only appearance on Saturday Night Live. The songs he played were When You Gonna Wake Up, Gotta Serve Somebody, and I Believe in You. Dylan has never wanted or been asked to go back. I don't know what that means, but you would think Bob would want to go back on Saturday Night Live. It's a good, way to go. Or he doesn't because he's like, oh, they suck. I don't know which. 1980. I was surprised that this was when it started. Geffen Records released their very first album. And that happened to be Donna Summer, The Wanderer. So that was when that first Geffen Records came out. That's interesting. Trying to think of all the bands that I knew from Geffen Records, which was a lot. I'm just trying to think that I didn't realize they didn't start till 1980. Interesting. David Byrne's musical review, American Utopia, opens on this day on Broadway at the Hudson Theater in New York City. It runs for 106 performances. We talked about that the other night. I saw American Utopia when it first opened down at the shore. It was in Red Bank, and it was March 3rd, I think. It was like 2018. It just happened to be coming to New Jersey at the last minute with my friend Fred, and we caught the show. It was quite good. Again, I'm sure lots of people have seen it between now and then, but it was very different. You know, there was when wearing gray, there was no instruments except for stuff they carried, sort of like a marching band. The big box, the curtains of beads hung down. It was very cool, very cool. Polydor Records. This is 2023. Polydor Records releases Hackney Diamonds, the 26th LP of the band The Rolling Stones. It has the first original music in almost 20 years. They hadn't released original music albums since 2005. And this one has a bunch of guests on it, including Lady Gaga, Sir Paul McCartney, and Stevie Wonder. All do guest appearances with the Rolling Stones on Hackney Diamond. I don't know if that got good reviews or not. I didn't bother to look because I was like, enough Rolling Stones. All right, 2024, Elton John makes a surprise appearance at the even rarer Joni Mitchell concert. Joni had a show in Hollywood, California at the Hollywood Bowl in Los Angeles. They sang a duet together, of all things, I'm Still Standing. I'm still standing better than I ever did. I could see that. I could see Joni Mitchell singing that. That would be fun. I tried to look for it. I didn't find it, but I didn't look very hard. I Googled it for about 1 second. I was like, I didn't find it. Keep going. Back to Tom Petty. All right, 1955. We went backwards again. The time machine kind of swerved and got out of the way of a tree. 1955, both Elvis Presley and Bill Haley and the Comets perform at Brooklyn High School Auditorium in Cleveland, Ohio. On this date, October 20th, 1955, the King was in Ohio, along with Bill Haley and the Comets, playing a show in good old Cleveland, Ohio. Cleveland rocks. 1960, Roy Orbison. I was listening to a bunch of Roy Orbison. Had his first #1 in the UK with his single, Only the Lonely. Only the Lonely. And it's his first of 33 hits. So 60 is when Roy came into the scene. He had 33 additional hits after that one. The song was turned down by the Everly Brothers. I guess he wrote it. So just, he wrote it and he tried to shop it. So the band, the Everly Brothers turned it down. Even Elvis turned it down. So Roy said, screw it. I'll just record it myself. And it went to #1. So it's got to be one of those things that sort of chaps your ass. Damn it. It actually was a good song. Should have taken that from him. I mean, right? How do you know? How do you know it's going to be a hit? How did you know 1960 was going to be a hit? Roy believed in it. He wrote it. So he just recorded it. 1962, Bobby Boris Pickett and the Crypt Kickers started a 2-week run at #1 on the U.S. charts for the song Monster Mash. He did the mash. He did the Monster Mash. It was a mash. It became #3 in the UK 11 years later in 1973 because the BBC had banned it. I was like, what? But yes, they banned it in the UK because they deemed it offensive. That's what happens when you have state-run radio. They can deem something offensive and ban it. Have to kind of make sure we don't let that happen. We don't want music banned. Just saying. No, see, that makes sense to me. Because remember there was a song that came out, it was like summertime. It was October. I'm like, what the fuck? how's this thing number one in October? This makes sense. It's like 2 weeks from Halloween. The song comes out a couple weeks before Halloween, and it goes number one because it's near Halloween. The Monster Mash, Halloween, duh. So yeah, that one makes total sense to me. It should make sense to you because timing is everything, right? Isn't timing everything in life? So 1967, Davy Jones of the band The Monkees opens his own Zilch boutique in New York City, Zilch One. So I was like, okay, what is Zilch? What? So I had to go look for it. So Zilch was, nowadays the Zilch is like these zero footprint carbon, blah, blah, blah. But what it was for him, it was a hip, like, cool, super cool, groovy daddy-o kind of boutique in Greenwich Village. And he had Indian shirts that I guess he helped pick out. And he actually was there the first couple of weeks and he was a salesperson and made it happen. And it was a hugely popular store. They said they were going to open Zilch 2 in Los Angeles. I don't know if that ever happened, but it did show there was two girls that went and they took pictures of it. And there was this cute little article about these two girls that went to show their friends, the people that wanted to go that couldn't make it to New York City. So they took all these cool pictures of the whole place and documented it. And it was kind of a cool little memory of these two young girls that went to Zilch Boutique in Greenwich Village, owned by Davy Jones and the Monkees. 1969, The Who played the first of 6 shows at the Fillmore East in New York City. They played 2-hour sets each night, and the sets were dedicated to the songs from the album Tommy. I've been to the Fillmore East, and I've been to the Fillmore West. Fillmore West, I saw Love and Rockets play. It was amazing. It was such a good show. It was one of those completely just spur of the moment things. I was out visiting friends and relatives out in San Francisco. And I was there with my friend Jan, of all people. The Colonel. And it just happened that it was happening. So we got a couple of tickets and went. So Love and Rockets. And they were so good. Oh my God. Seeing them in San Francisco was so much fun. That was a really crazy adventure. But I've always had crazy adventures. My adventures usually are pretty epic, to say the least. I don't adventure like most people, I imagine. That's just the way it goes. I don't know why. 1973, the Rolling Stones went to number 1 on the U.S. charts with their song, Angie. Angie, Angie. It was the 7th chart topper by the Rolling Stones. People speculated who was Angie. They weren't sure. Was it David Bowie's first wife, Angie? Was it actress Angie Dickerson from Policewoman? Was it Keith Richards' daughter, Dandelion Angela? It took till 2010 for Keith Richards to go ahead and belay all rumors that, in fact, it was just a random name he just picked. Even though he had no idea who it was, he just picked the name and used it. And named his daughter Dandelion Angela after the song was written and re-recorded. So he just decided he liked the song name and named his daughter after the song, not vice versa. So there was no Angie in anyone's particular mind, according to Keith Richards of the Rolling Stones. 1976, Led Zeppelin, the film, The Song Remains the Same, was released in New York City. The charity event raised, what's going on here? What's happening? Oh man, the camera completely just freaked out. What was happening with that one? That was weird. I've not seen it do that before. It didn't even give me a reminder. It just kind of went and crapped out. Oh, I see why. Oh man, I almost deleted the whole thing. Sorry. There we go, not yet. Led Zeppelin film, The Song Remains the Same, was released in New York City on this date, October 20th, 1976. The charity to feed the children raised $25,000 from the event. The footage was all shot in 1973 at 3 shows that were recorded at Madison Square Garden in New York City. And some footage was subbed in from sessions they did in Surrey in London. I think it was all footage there. I don't remember seeing much of that stuff. But what am I to know? I haven't seen that movie for decades. 1977, Susie Sue. Susie Sue of Susie and the Banshees, along with Kerry Morris of Susie and the Banshees, were arrested and detained overnight. And this happened in Hollow in London. The apparent reason behind it is that they caused an obstruction after a concert. I was like, what is this obstruction? So what did they do? Block the street? Have signed autographs? I couldn't find what the obstruction was. But apparently it did something enough to piss off the cops that they held him overnight and fined him $50 and let him go the next day. I'm assuming obstruction, like they must have been out in the street, like signing autographs or something with fans, because what kind of an obstruction do you do when you're Susie Sue? I mean, I don't know. It wasn't like she was throwing rocks or smoking pot. Most of this, people getting arrested are smoking pot. 1979, the Eagles start a 9-week run at #1 with their album, The Long Run. It is the 4th U.S. #1. 3 singles came out of that. Heartache Tonight, The Long Run, and I Can't Tell You Why. Heartache Tonight actually released as a single, also went to #1, and it received a Grammy. So that was a good song for them. I remember that listening to it the other day. I was like, oh, that's great. Heartache Tonight. 1984, Wham, good old Wham, starts a 3-week run at #1 in the U.S. with their single, Freedom. Freedom. It was the duo's second #1. 2003, Amy Winehouse released her debut LP, Frank, named after Frank Sinatra. I was like, Frank? What? That's like a dog's name. Yo, Frank, come on, let's go. But Frank Sinatra, that was what the album was named after and for. When it came out, it was only number 60 on the UK chart, and eventually climbed to number 13. Unfortunately, after she died, in 2011, the album re-entered the UK chart at number 5 and wound up peaking at number 3 posthumously. It was the highest that the album ever got to. You're not famous till you're dead. I don't want to be dead to be famous. I want to get my Rock and Roll Hall of Fame entry while I'm still alive. Thank you, Ozzy Osbourne and others. Speaking of smoking pot, 2006, George Michael openly smoked pot on it was a Spanish, not Spain, or not like Mexico, but like Spain, like Madrid. He openly smoked pot on a Madrid TV show. Backstage, George Michael, when asked about it, said, "It is the only drug worth taking. It keeps me sane and happy." All right. I mean, sure. I guess, being legal there and legal here is very different, as Ohio keeps trying to change the rules. They voted for illegally, but now it's like, well, we don't like that you voted yes on it. We're going to change the rules for you. George Michael, you madman. All right, now let's see. Who was born today? Tom Petty. Would have been 75 today. Mr. Petty, we lost him in 2017, born in 1950. Tom Petty, the Heartbreakers. Lots and lots of good music. Just listen to Tom Petty. Also, Al Greenwood from Foreigner, born on this day because it's urgent. Mark King of Level 42. Norm Blake of Teenage Fan Club. Snoop Dogg, 54 today. Happy birthday to the Snoop Dogg. I'm sure he'll figure out it's his birthday at some point. Someone will tell him. For shizzle. And Paul Wilson of Snow Patrol. We've met Paul before. He's been to the station. Very nice gentleman. Who else was born today? Bela Lugosi of Bela Lugosi's Dead. Born on this day, so he was not dead today. He was born today. Also, John Krasinski of The Office and A Quiet Place. I think he directed that one. And as far as dead, well, we know a bunch of people from Leonard Skinner died. That happened. But also Paul Raven of Killing Joke and Ministry died on this day. And actor Burt Lancaster from Here to Eternity. Burt Lancaster. There you go. That's what happened in music and a little bit of film and TV today. I was trying to find a little bit of stuff that seems to be relative and relevant for this stuff. Tomorrow's Tuesday. The auction for stuff is happening. This is still a thing. You know, like I said, I've got to find a new title card. Something's got to happen. I just need to take a break from my 7-day work week and to do some other things and get some ketchup. Get it? Ketchup? I just made that pun. I didn't even know I was going to do that. Sorry. It's late. It's Monday. What can I tell you? All right. I heard the machine click, so it's full. So I'm going to go turn the heater back on. I'm sure the motor will start immediately. But you didn't get to hear it. It did interrupt us. I still let the camera go black, but, you know, hey, one mistake a show is not that bad in the grand scheme of things when I'm the writer, director, producer, camera operator, editor, best boy, best grip, you name it. It's all me. Hanging out in my small little studio right here, 7 foot by 8 foot in my lower level suite. All right. I will bid you all a fond farewell and adieu. I appreciate you greatly for being here. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit like. I see there's likes. Awesome. Thank you so much. Love you, mean it. This is still a thing, remember? Randsanity, that's still a thing. You know, at some point I'll get it going, I promise. It's just, you know, it's been crazy. It's been a little bit busy. Life is interrupted way more than I thought. Besides that, this is still happening. So, you know, go find me on the Heinz Verified. Like it, make comments about it, tell them to feed me. Let's see if we can get a reprisal of this. I'm not going to hold my breath. But you never know. Weird things have happened. Anyway, on that note, thank you. Have yourself a great Monday evening and a fantabulous Tuesday. I'm going to see Brian Phillips tomorrow morning. If you know who Brian Phillips is, he used to be a DJ with me at the radio station. I'm going to have coffee with him tomorrow, and I'll let you know how Brian is. Until then, have yourself a fantastic day, and we'll do this all again tomorrow, but completely different. Thank you so much, and we will fade to